When someone is on the stage and there are PowerPoint presentations, has it ever happened for you where you're trying to look at the PowerPoint and you're writing down and the speaker says something but it's very important, but you write that down instead, and then you're looking at the person beside you and says, what did I miss? What did I miss? Okay, and there was a study that was done on the PowerPoint, what it does to our brain. It confuses us. So when you confuse them, for those that are in sales, you lose them. All right. Okay, so here's the thing. I know this is one of the best audiences in the world. And I want you to know we flew over 14, almost 15 hours to be here. I want you to know for several days prior to getting here, I fasted. In other words, so that I can look good sideways for you. In addition to that, to the beautiful people in the room, especially to the ladies, I'm wearing 3 pair of Spanx. And on top of that, I left in my bedroom something tall, dark, and chocolate. To be here for you. Now the ice cream is probably melted. So with that being said, I missed you. I was excited to be here again. So I want to feel that love. So we're going to try that introduction again. I want to feel the love. Ready with my music, bringing to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. For your sister from another Mr., Linda Clemons. This is so unexpected. Thank you. You can have a seat. You can have a seat. Again, thank you so much. I'm excited anytime that I have the opportunity to be able to share, care enough to share. I love being able to do this. I've been doing what I've been doing in the industry as a sales expert and as a nonverbal communications expert for over 4 decades. Over 4 decades. And I know some of you are thinking, and look to the person sitting beside you, oh, I thought she was 21. So I've been doing it a long, long time. And the good thing about it, we had a couple of testimonies yesterday from someone that remembered me from 2 years ago. That's something that they tried. And that, where's the gentleman, I don't know if he's still in here, that made a difference in his life. These are the things that I love to hear. So I'm going to get the room tempered, if you will, and we're going to get started. I want you to take notes. Some of you, because we're in a high-tech world, you're going to take electronic notes. That may be good, but I want you to write things down, because when you write it down, you own it. The brain begins to separate what's important and the thing and the information that it needs for primitive value, in other words, for your survival. That's why when someone is on the stage, for you all that are presenters, when someone is on the stage and there are PowerPoint presentations, has it ever happened for you where you're trying to look at the PowerPoint and you're writing down and the speaker says something but it's very important, but you write that down instead, and then you're looking at the person beside you and says, what did I miss? What did I miss? Okay, and there was a study that was done on the PowerPoint, what it does to our brain. It confuses us. So when you confuse them, for those that are in sales, you lose them. So I'm going to get the room tempered, and I want you to write down notes, and there's going to be a lot of information and a lot of good things that can help you move to the next level. That's what I'm here for. But I'm going to temper the room, and what that simply means, if you have someone that you're sitting beside, if not, find someone, and I want you to look at the person to your right or left, find a partner, and I want you to say to them, you are bold. Wow. All right, that sounds good. Okay, listen up. Now I want you to look at that person, look at them, and say to them, you are brilliant. Right. See, I'm watching to see how many of you are moving and if you're uncomfortable. Now I want you to look at that person and tell them you are beautiful inside. This is good. Find a partner, find a partner. And here's one more thing I want you to tell them. This is important. Listen up. I want you to look at them and say, you know what? You look good this morning. Now, here's the deal. Part of the thing in nonverbal communication, I want you to be truthful and authentic. And you need to let them know this before they leave here. Look at them one more time and tell them, not as good as I do, but I'm glad you tried. Naughty group, naughty group, naughty group. Okay, so listen, we're gonna get ready and get started. So one of the things that I have the opportunity to do as I travel around the world, I get invited quite often to help with jury selection. And I've been called to jury duty several times. And I think once they find out my background as a sales expert, because there could be a tendency to sway the jury, go figure, right? In addition to that, as a nonverbal communications expert. See, there's some things that take place when you are blocking your power zones. And we're going to talk about that. So imagine if you're sitting behind the witness stand, and if all this was covered, half of your communication is gone. Half of your communication is gone. And by the way, deception decreases from the feet all the way up. So can you imagine if you're talking to a little kid? How many people in the room have children? Show of hands. How many in the room have been a child before? Show of hands. Okay, good, good, good. So can you imagine if you said to the little child, did you take the cookie? Okay. If the kid took the cookie, 9 times out of 10, probably crumbs on the mouth, right? But if the kid takes the cookie, he or she will take their little hand. If the cookie is gone, what cookie? Now the brain, the amygdala, also known as the reptilian part of the brain, is not gonna go down with you. It's the truth brain that will tell the truth. And it will come out in your nonverbal. Please write this down because I teach in stories and teach in a moment. It's called leakage. Imagine something leaking from a bottle. Imagine something leaking from a vessel. You are a vessel. Your body is a temple. So imagine when there is leakage, the moment that it comes across on your mind, it shows up in the matter. So if you're looking at me and someone says, well, Linda, do you like the new director? Do you like the new CEO? And I go like this, you're okay. All it takes, just that small movement, also known as micro expressions that we cannot control. So just imagine if you think about it, you're gonna be about it. So one in the mind comes out in the matter. So we're gonna have some fun here and you're gonna learn in the moment. And we're gonna open it up and give you some time for Q&A. I'm gonna invite some volunteers to come on stage and play with me. Is that okay? I'm glad it's okay with you. What about the rest of you? Is that okay? I'm trying to behave here. All right, so one of my favorite quotes is by Emerson. And I like to clementize quotes a little bit. And the quote goes like this: I cannot hear what you are saying because who you are being is getting in the way. Repeat it again. Emerson, with my little clementized flavor to it. I cannot hear what you are saying because who you are being is getting in the way. How many times have we heard the phrase, action speaks louder than words? And if my late grandmother was alive, she would say, baby, I hear you talking, honey, but I don't see you walking. So if your words and your tone and your nonverbal don't agree, then there's a disconnect in the message between you and me. So when reading nonverbal communication, it's so critical to not just listen to what a person is saying, is to be observant behind the movements and the feeling and the emotion. Does that make sense? Show of hands. Great, 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 great. So I'm going to give you the basics to get you started. Someone say basics. All right. And we're going to start with the communication theory that was done well over 50 years ago. Quite often, it is challenged by other behavioral scientists because they haven't done a study. And the study out of UCLA says in the communication theory that our words are 7% of our communication. And we talked about that a little bit the other day, 7%. So my question for you, if the words are 7% of your communication, are your words powerful or powerless? Passionate or passive? Potent or poison? Just saying the word cancer is feared in over 12 languages. Your words. Every actor in Hollywood at this moment is waiting for the script with the right words. But what if we speak another language? Now we lose the words. According to the study, it said that 38%, everyone say 38. 38% of our communication is tonality. There's a saying that goes, help me out now. There's a saying that goes, it's not what you say, but okay, I'm going to do a remix on that. Just do a little remix. It's not what you say or how you say it. It's what they hear. Look to the person to the right or left and say, ooh, that's good. That's good. That was good. That was a little juicy. That was a little juicy. So watch this. I'm going to give you two examples. Hear me out. Two examples. I want you to hear the words and simply the tone. Just listen to the words and tone. This is case number one. I saw Steve and Sandy at the mall the other day and they were alone. I'm going to try it again. Just the words and the tone. I saw Steve and Sandy at the mall the other day and they were alone. So just with those words and the tone in which it was delivered, you're thinking, Linda, big deal. People go to the mall all the time. But what if I delivered it in this manner? Same words, but different tone. And it goes like this. I saw Steve and Sandy at the mall the other day, and they were alone. Same words, but different tone. So if you work in an organization, perhaps where dating is prohibited, next thing you know, then there's a rumor going around the company. Someone says, get rid of Steve. You say, get rid of Sandy. You say, get rid of both of them. Then you say, wait a minute. I'm about to get in it. They're brother and sister. And the next thing you know, get it late, Larry says, that's even worse. All because of the tone and how critical and important the tone is. I do a training called sales hypnotherapy because the right words and the right tone massages different parts of the brain and how you can get agreement, compliance, right? And commitment. There's a difference between agreement and commitment. Would you agree? All right. Because think about this. How many of you have had breakfast, ham and eggs? Have you ever had ham and eggs before? Show of hands, show of hands. So when you look at the plate and you're sitting at the table and you're about to eat your breakfast and you look at that ham and eggs, there's a story there. See, the chicken was involved. But the pig was committed. 7% words, 38% tonality, and 55% of the communication, according to the communication theory and the study that was done well over 50 years ago, is our body language. So if all three don't agree, then there's a disconnect in the message between you and me. So I need one chair right now. If someone can bring me just one chair right now. Can I share a story with you, do you mind? Of one of my girlfriends that something happened? Because we're family, do you mind? Okay, first of all, are you all in the right place? Because sometimes you could go into a building, make a wrong turn, and set up here, be at Mindvalley. Right. In Estonia, on top of that. Okay, so here's the deal. I have not purchased groceries, Mohan. I have not purchased groceries in over 15 years. I don't buy groceries because all of my girlfriends and my guy friends, when they have someone new in their life, they invite me out to dinner as their human lie detector. And because I like fine dining, the price can be high. So one of my good friends called me up and she says, oh my gosh, Linda, I was just thinking about you. I was just in this moment thinking about you. You were on my heart and my spirit. And the first thing I said, who is he? Because you were thinking about me last time, this same time. Who is he? Oh, no. I'm telling you, he is the one. And I said, you know the deal. We're going to go to my favorite shoo-shoo-poo-poo restaurant. Okay? So, and you know the deal. I'll already be there. So I'm sitting in the restaurant at my favorite table. And of course, it's so funny, and I'm going to teach you in a moment now. So she comes in with her new guy. And she looks at me, you know, in my little area, like she's surprised, right? So she goes like this. Oh my God, what a coincidence to see you here. Okay, she did what we called an eyebrow flash. Everyone say eyebrow flash. In body language, when you do an eyebrow flash, you're either interested, curious, or intrigued about the subject or the person that's in front of you. And the eyebrow, oh my gosh, look at the surprise. Oh my gosh. Do me a favor, look at the person beside you and go like this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's like, oh my gosh, it's surprising to see you here. Oh my gosh. And so she says to me, you're going to love this. Why don't you join us? So the poor guy, you know, they're out on a date. You know, two's company, three's a crowd. And she said, why don't you join us? See, this is the routine. Now, fellas, I'm going to give you some information. Ladies, don't get upset with me, because I know you're thinking that I'm going to break the girl code. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give the fellas some information so they can take back to the man cave for the next meeting, all right? So check this out. So we're sitting down at the table. So I'm going to ask you this question. When you're sitting down at a table at your favorite restaurant and you're interested in the menu, this is your first test. Are you leaning forward or backwards? Okay, why are you leaning forward? Because you're interested in the food. As a matter of fact, for 2 days, I didn't eat because I was going to order everything on the menu, because she does this to me every other month, right? And so my tummy was empty, so I'm leaning forward, looking at this. So you're leaning in. What happens if you were invited out to lunch or dinner and you really didn't like the restaurant? How do you think you're sitting? So you all know. Why am I here? You know. Okay, so check this out. So we're sitting there. Now you learned about the eyebrow flash, right? Everybody do the practice. Go. Okay. All right. Right. Okay, now watch this. So we're sitting at the table because this is my girl. You know, we went to college together. I began to ask a series of questions to her gentleman friend. Now, in the tone in which you deliver this, it can be somewhat interrogating if your words are sharp and abrupt. But my words weren't that. The tone was right. It was neutral. And I had the eyebrow flash to indicate that I was curious and wanted to find out more about him. And I did this. So, come on, let's practice. Everybody go. So, okay, good. Because you'll be my backup. So, how long have you two been dating? And he responded going into thought, right? About maybe 2 or 3 months. Okay, great. So here's my next question. Instead of eyebrows up, I went neutral and my head was leveled. So when the head is level, you have someone says, keep your chin up, keep a level head. That's in the serious mode. And I said to him, and I leaned forward and I said, so, have you ever been married before? You can hear crickets. He responded, sort of, kind of. Sort of, kind of. If you were to ask me, Linda, are you black? Are you African American? Would I say, sort of, kind of? I'm cafe latte? No! So it wasn't just a response, sort of, kind of, because all I needed was a yes or no answer. But here's what happened. And my friend knew this was the code. When he began to thigh cleanse. Everybody say thigh cleanse. Who has an idea what thigh cleansing is? Oh, I know you know. You look like you've been in trouble before, sir. I've had my eye on you when you walked in that door. I said, there's trouble walking in. So everyone take both of your hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Please put them on your thighs. Start stroking your thighs. So when you see thigh cleansing, when you're asking a direct question, that all you need is a direct response. It's called pacifying gestures because the individual is under stress and they're trying to self-soothe themselves. And that's what the pacifying gestures are. You are in trouble quite a bit. I'm surprised you even have any palms. So she knew the signs because she attended a session just like this. So this is what she said to me. She said, I've got to go to the ladies' room. Now, fellas, this is where you're probably going to blank out. She said, I've got to go to the ladies' room. Ladies, what does it mean? This happens universal. When anytime a woman, no matter where she is around the world, when she gives you that look and that signal and she says, I've got to go to the ladies' room. Look what Ruby said. What did you say? I'll come with, that means come go with me because there's a meeting in the ladies' room. See, here's the thing. Right now, the guys are are in the freeze, fight, flight state because they're like, what's going on? Because men won't do this. Yo, Joe, I got to go to the men's room. You want to come? No! So needless to say, we go in there. She began to ask a series of questions, and I said, you guys, it's your limbic system. It's your barometer that's built into you. It's when someone comes in your presence, when you know something's not right, when you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach and your heart begins to flutter, and you know it is your amygdala trying to protect you, to let you know something's not right. Needless to say, in that dialogue, she found out a few things. There were patterns that were not congruent. His words and his tone and the nonverbal were not congruent. Come to find out that he was married. Okay, so hold on. I got to take a little test here. How many people in the room are married? Show of hands. Okay. How many people are single? Show of hands. Okay. How many of you are trying to do both? That was a trick question. That was the gentleman at the restaurant back there. The signs are already there. They're already there. And that's the thing, because bodies talk to bodies, brains talk to each other. That's the signs that are already there. Needless to say, the relationship didn't work. The same thing with my guy friends. They know the moment that you invite me to come out to dinner, you already know. You just need someone to confirm or to validate the thing that you're feeling. So it's so important. So we're going to talk about the 3 C's in reading nonverbal communication. And by the way, the moral of that story is, since my good friend left the restaurant, she was a bit upset. I didn't get to order my food. So the moral of the story, don't tell your girlfriends or guy friends nothing until you order dessert. It's the way life is. It's the way life is. So before I get into the 3 C's of reading nonverbal communication, you must first know a person's baseline. Everyone say baseline. Baseline. Say it again, baseline. Think of baseball, baseline. So baseline, in the FBI would call it their norming. Baseline is who a person is under normal circumstance without any stress. It is their norm. So if you have a friend or someone that comes into the office every day, they sing the same little song, they go make the coffee, then they have a routine. They do it on Monday, they do it on Tuesday and Wednesday, but Thursday, they didn't do it. Friday, they didn't do it. They're off base. How many times we work with our teams and we notice there's a change? How many times with our children you notice that there's a change? And sometimes we don't realize till after the tragedy, but the signs were already there. So when you begin to master a person's baseline who's working on your team, it allows you to add the highest value because you know when they're off base. Make sense? All right, okay. So the 3 C's. The first C is reading body language in clusters. When I say the word cluster, that's more than one movement. You know, I had a wonderful introduction coming up on the stage here, but what if I did this the entire time? And I'm going like this, hey, Mindvalley, I'm excited to be here, and we're going to share some good things, and we're going to have a party. Woo. And you're going to say, no, she doesn't believe it because what? Her arms were folded? Or was it the tone? Because quite often there's some of you in the room that fold your arms as part of your baseline, right? When you're talking to someone, you say, you know what, I'm not being closed off. It's the perception that you are being closed off to the viewer because you are closing off a power zone when the arms are folded. Wow. We'll talk about the arms in a few minutes. So you want to read them in clusters. So let's say I'm up here and I'm doing the presentation just like this. And then you leave the room. Oh, the speaker's closed off. I don't want to stay in the room. And then you walk out of the room and you missed when I did this. And the next thing you know, the guy that's always in trouble, he brings me a jacket because I was cold. But you walked out of the room because you judged me on the first movement. So now we're going beyond the color of the skin. We're going beyond the gender as the background of what we do. Now we're judging on movements and behavior because I'm up here and you missed when I did this. So when reading body language, look for more than one movement to validate the thing you're thinking. How many times someone said, look at him, look at her, she's up to no good. What is up to no good? Do I climb up on the chair? Am I up to no good? What does that mean? And once you begin to put a narrative to it, write this word down, R-A-S, RAS, the reticulating, activating system. The moment that you begin to put a thought, a negative thought, your brain will seek the validation to make you right, whether it's true or not. Because you could see something so bad enough wanted, you begin to see it and begin to pick things out. So now reading them in clusters. The second C is congruency, making sure that the words, the tone, and the nonverbal agree. Because if all 3 don't agree, then there's a disconnect in the message between you and me. Sir, what is your name? Salman? Oh, okay. Okay, so what if I did this to you? Watch. You know I love you, and I believe we can make this marriage work. Do you believe it? I'm lying. You don't believe it. Why? I said the words. I said the words. But what if I approach you? You know that I love you. I believe we can make this work. Because the power zone is open. When you close the door to your heart, you're closing the door to the other individual. So your words and your tone and your nonverbal, they have to agree. Because otherwise, we call them in body language hot spots when they don't agree. And the last C is context. It's beautiful in Estonia, at least for me. From where I'm from, it's pretty humid right now. It's hot. But we are in the summer months right now. But what if I came up on this stage in full-length fur coat or winter gear? Do you have real fur or faux fur? I don't want you to get upset about Fifi. Okay. It's out of context. It's not matching the weather. Those are your 3 C's. There is one more C. There is one more C. I only give that 4th C to people that I care about, have some kind of relationship with, because my mother didn't raise me to go around giving away my C's. And I just want to make sure that you all want the 4th C. Does anybody want the 4th C? I'm glad you do, sir. All right? So I'm going to ask this side over here, do you want the 4th C? Let me hear you. That was a little weak. Okay. This section here, do you want the 4th C? You could have went for the gold. You want to try it again? Do you want the 4th C? You think you could beat that? You want the 4th C? Now somebody's going like, woo. 4th C. Ten points will put you in the lead if you could do this. 4th C. Okay, so the 4th C is culture. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. You want to fit in. You don't want to stand out, you may go to jail. So in different parts of the world, we use hand gestures, we use emblems and body language. They called emblems. So for example, in the United States, if someone does this, we're number 1. In the United States, if someone does this, peace. How many of you recognize this? See, but in the United States, it means what? A-OK, different parts of the world, something quite obscene. If I was in the United Kingdom, perhaps, and I'm sharing something confidential with you, and I'll go like this, keep this between us. But if I'm in Italy and do the same thing, it could mean you're in trouble. So if you're going to do business in a global world, understanding what our gestures mean. The suprasternal notch, everyone touch this right here. Okay, that little dip right here, the suprasternal notch. It's so important. People have a tendency, especially women in business, when you're feeling a little insecure or you don't have the strongest level of confidence and someone begins to talk to you about something, begin to challenge you, you'll stroke the suprasternal notch. Men often would get a little warm around the collar, but you'll stroke the suprasternal notch. So if I'm interviewing and I'm on a case and I'll say, Miss Jones, I'm here representing the agency. Where was your son and your daughter on February the 14th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? If he or she is protecting someone, especially the woman, she will begin to stroke the suprasternal notch. That's the language that has the loudest conversation first, the nonverbal. And I have not seen my children in about 2 months. Watch this, watch this, watch this. I have not seen my kids. Look at this. I have not seen my kids. I have not seen my kids. The head and the words are not matching. So it's so important that we are aware of those things. It's so important. Now I need 3 volunteers, and I need help. Someone who I've not met before, who have never volunteered before, and they're gonna help bring this, okay. You're jumping. So, do you know what you're volunteering for? That's so sweet. I just want to get in. I don't know what it is. I want to get in. I just want to volunteer. I never had the chance to do it in my life. I've never been able to volunteer. All right, all right. So I need 3 ladies and 1 gentleman, if you will. Okay, let's see. Let's get one from each side. And then lady over here. You right there, back in the back. Yes, you? The other lady right there. You. The one that's looking around. You, sweetheart. Now come up here. Okay, get a young lady here. Okay, I'm going to get, let's see, you. All right, all right. Okay. Have we talked before? Okay. I love the way you're doing this. She's raising her hand and going, me. Is that a threat? You won't hurt me? Because the grip on that bottle was quite tight. Oh, okay, come on. Okay. Okay. I'm coming up anyway. Okay. Now I need a man. I need a man that needs a woman. Okay. That happens. Oh, this happens everywhere I go. Okay. Are you too fun? You're high-fiving over me? Either one would be great. Wow. But you were high-fiving over me. What did that mean? Who has the strongest love for me? Which one? You hesitate. You come up here. Good. You see the one, he put his hand over his heart? Ladies, did you see that? I asked, who has the strongest love for me? Put his hand over his heart. The other one, yeah, are you in a situation? Are you in a relationship? You've got something going on? Are you a little upset? You're upset that you don't feel, stand up. Life is short, love. Even if you cannot have me in the flesh, the power of the mind. Catch it, catch it, catch it. Oh. Thank you. Come on, ladies, come on. I want you to stand in front of the stage, okay? Stand in front of the chair, okay? And you come up here, sir. Spread out, spread out, spread out. Uh-huh. Okay, spread out across the stage. Look towards the audience, okay? You waved at your little friend, okay, okay, okay. And, okay, come right here. Okay. Permission to touch, and sir, right here, okay? Let's give our Mindvalley U primetime players a big round of applause. Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, this can be you too, right? So I need you to take 2 steps back, small steps, 2 steps back. Okay, good, 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 good. I want you to look out at the audience. It's very important that you listen to my voice and you listen to my instructions. It's very, very critical because I'm going to ask you to do a few things. If you begin to do something that's opposite of what I request, it's like a defiant move. And you know you don't want to be defiant. You know you don't, all right? So, because that's not you. That's not you. And we're going to talk about that. So I'm going to count to 3. And it's very, very important. I'm going to ask you to freeze. That means I really don't want you to move at all. I want you to look right at the audience, but I don't want you to move. Because if you move, because we're talking about body language, that means you're talking. Because your nonverbal is talking. Make sense? So I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3, freeze. Freeze, do not move. And I'm going to ask the audience to do a couple of things, and you are going to have a tendency to want to do what I ask the audience to do, but you cannot move. You have to be strong. Look right at the audience. To the audience, I want you to look at their feet. Do not look at your feet. I want the audience to look at their feet, okay? Now, there's a couple things that are going on with the feet here. Make note on here. Make note. Everybody make note. For those that were sitting beside these individuals, make sure you take good notes for them as well. Make note, feet don't lie. Write that down. Feet don't lie. In nonverbal communication, feet are very important. If I'm working a case, or if I'm in Washington, D.C., or nation's capital, and I'm roaming around undercover, if you will, I'm looking at two things. I'm looking at the hands and I'm looking at the feet for intent and indication where they want to go. Feet are often pointed in the direction we want to go. Check it out. The next time you're in your networking circle and a group of you are talking, you can always tell the individual who wants to leave because their feet will start going like this. Okay, okay. Towards the exit. If you are interviewing someone and you begin to ask them a question, say, for example, was there any improprietary things taking place at your job that you may be aware of? They'll begin to get nervous. The blood will leave the brain, go to the lower extremities, and they will begin to shift the feet. That's why it's so important when you're doing interviews or you're working with your clients that you get the full scale, that you see the full body, because you're going to be missing the other language, because truth decreases, deception decreases the more you move from the feet, because automatically the brain knows when there's danger coming about, you have to have the blood to go to lower extremities so that you can flee. And the feet tell a lot. But let me tell you, look at this gentleman's, how he's standing. Ladies, and I'm going to talk about you right here too, because you're doing good. We'll talk about you. And I'm going to ask permission to touch in a respectful way. Look at his feet. Ladies, in business, and men have a tendency to take up real estate. The man space. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. They have a tendency to take up more space. Sometimes women will have a tendency to stand small. And I'm going to ask you permission, all of you, to touch in the most honorable and respectful way with integrity, okay? So with permission to touch, so let's say she's doing a presentation and someone says, it's not going to work. We lost money the third quarter. It's not going to work. And let's say she has worked on that project, that proposal for months. The moment that you're intact at the mind, it begins to weaken the matter if you allow it. It's only us that allow others permission to destroy what we have. You allow that when you allow people into your space. So if someone begins to verbally attack her project, doesn't mean they're attacking you. The moment that it touches the mind, then it weakens the matter. Permission to touch, it's easy to push her over simply by the way she's standing. Okay? It's amazing that you came up here to volunteer because by nature you are an introvert and you're more of an extrovert when you're around your friends. Does that make sense? Okay. Now she just did a shoulder shrug. Okay. Okay. When you do a shoulder shrug, well, I'm not sure. I'm not buying that totally. Right. Okay. And you're going to see in a minute. Now, what is your name, love?
Karen.
Okay, Karen. So Karen, permission to touch. Okay, so Karen, one of the things that I want to recommend for you, okay? Man, when you love deeply. When you hurt deeply. And the word that I have for you in the vice, if it doesn't help you grow, you've got to let it go. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Because sometimes you have a tendency to hold on to things. You carry it with you at night, and you try to fix people that don't want to be fixed. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, one of the reasons, if you listen to what I'm asking and saying to her, I need you to start watching the movements. As I was saying this to her, it took her to an emotional part of her brain, and then her head tilted in the emotional realm. Her head tilted, okay? Everybody do the tilt. Oh. Right, the head tilt automatically. So she has a tendency to keep busy with everybody else's situation, trying to fix things. And there are some things that you should have been saying a long time ago, but you've been biting your tongue. Do you know what I mean? Okay, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, now why do I say she's been biting her tongue? Did anybody notice what she did with her face? We've got 43 facial muscles, and I mentioned yesterday, we use about 37 of them to make 27 distinct expressions, but she did something with her mouth when I said to her that you need to say what you need to say. Did anybody notice what she did with her mouth? Okay, so here's another word for you. Write this down. Lip compression. Anytime you see lip compression in a meeting with your clients, even if it doesn't matter whether you're on Zoom, and you ask someone, does anybody have a question or challenge or problems or anything we need to bring up? Does anyone know what's going on with the other department? We've heard some crazy things. And let's say you know what's going on, but you don't want to rock the boat. Lip compression looks like this. Because you're wanting to say something, and the brain is saying, say it, say it, say it, say it. You're wanting to say something, but it doesn't come out, so you lock it. So that's what I'm going to say to you after the meeting. I just want to make sure I got your feedback, and it looked like that you wanted to say something. Can I hear that? You do not let them walk out of the room, but you don't want to put them on the spot and say, look, I went to this workshop, and I just saw your lip. You know, you did some lip compression, dude. You did some, look like you want to say something. Yeah, you don't want to do it like that, because a tactic known is a tactic blown. Okay? And so that's the part of the caring. This is your season to learn how to say no. You can't say yes to everything. And in order to have the peace within you, you can't let people take a piece of you. Okay? So you can have a seat on that bench right there. What is your name, love?
Joey.
Okay, Joey. Joey, what made you volunteer?
I didn't see myself in the week 2 photos, and I want to be on the photos.
So are you a little opportunist?
I would say I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone.
Okay, so we're going to step out of your comfort zone. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I want you to relax. Relax. I want you to take your feet and stand shoulder width. We're going to work on your stance. And I want you to look out at the audience, and I want you to say your name. Say, my name is Linda. So I go like this. My name is Linda, and I'm a powerful woman. I want you to say your name, and I want you to all watch. Watch the body language. Look at her mouth. Look at her mouth. Okay? Look at her mouth. Look at that. Did she just say, I want to step out of my, did you say that? My comfort zone? First of all, here's news flash. There's no such thing as a comfort zone. If I tell you all right now, go and stand in your comfort zone. There's no such thing. We put those limitations. Now there's something else that she just did. And I know you guys, I'm gonna get to you. Be patient. There's something she just did as I'm talking about her comfort zone. Did anyone notice what she just did? In addition to her hair, she stepped back. Okay? We're gonna get you into your power zone. Oh, yeah, you like that, didn't you? All right, so you like something here. Okay, so listen what I just did. My name is Linda Clemons, and I'm a powerful woman. Think it in your head. You ready? I'll hold this.
My name is Joey Chan, and...
Did you notice what did she do? Okay, but look. You know, it's the confidence. Am I sure my name is Joey? You know, they call me something else sometimes. I don't know. Okay? You notice that I'm standing solid. I want you to look at me. My name is Linda Clemons, and I'm a powerful woman. You wanted this.
Yes.
Okay? I'm going to let you hold the mic.
Okay.
I want to feel your power now. Take a deep breath. Do not shift this leg. By the way, look what happens when you start shifting. I want you as the audience to ask me this question. Linda, can you do the job? I think I can. Ask me again, and I won't even say a word. Ask me again. See, so when you shift, you're sending a signal to the brain. Are we sure? Are we going to do this or not? What's going on? Because you're the one that sends the commands. The tongue is connected to the speech center of the brain. You're the one that sends the command. Are you ready? This is your moment. This is your time. You could do this. Let's give her a round of applause. If you're going to get footage, get good footage, girl. You ready? Head level. Keep your head level. Good, good. Ready?
I'm Joey Chan, And what was the sentence?
You're a powerful woman.
I'm Joey Chan, and I'm a powerful woman.
Okay. Now I'm gonna send her to her chair there, but you notice when she said, I'm Jody Chan, I'm a powerful woman, you know what she did with her head? No, I'm not. I know I'm not. Okay, have a seat.
Halfway through the class.
You're halfway through the class, darling. We're gonna get you there. Okay. Okay, your name, love.
Natalie.
So Natalie, what I appreciate about you, you have no problems taking control. Okay? You have no problems once you make up your mind to do what you want to do, you are determined to do it. You could be a good leader, you could be a good manager. One of the things you want to be aware of is diversity of thought. So if other people have ideas, even though you know how to do it, to make sure you are open to everything and get the feedback from others. Does that make sense? So I'm going to ask you this. Over the last 12 to 18 months, did something happen with you in relationship to either a business or a personal relationship?
Like many things happening. Many things happening.
Okay. Are you in a relationship right now?
No.
Okay. Did you get out of a relationship not too long ago?
No.
Okay. Do you want to be in a relationship?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say to you. When you get into that relationship, allow that person to be who they are. Quit trying to control them.
I know. And how you get it from like only looking at me?
Because I got it like that. I've been doing what I've been doing for a long time. So it's very, very important so that when it's time, the reason why I'm asking you this, how many siblings do you have?
Only one.
Okay, is it male?
Male.
Okay, it's a male, right. And the reason why we pick up as women sometimes, if we're around male-dominated offices or things like that, we pick up more masculine tendencies that sometimes we feel that we have to fight. Constantly, always a battle. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
So when you find that person that you love, you don't have to fight. And allow them to be them. Otherwise, you're changing them. You want to be accepted for who you are. Trust is a big thing for you.
Yes.
Okay? And loyalty is a big thing.
Yes.
So become the person you're attracting, become that person. Now, the other thing that I want to mention to you is that when you find that person, it's okay if you trust to be transparent. Because in your relationships, quite often you're guarded. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because you don't want to be hurt.
Yes.
Okay? The late Dr. Wayne Dyer says, be open to everything, but attached to nothing. Allow the gifts and the blessings that come in. Because who knows, your partner may be in this room. Have a seat, okay? Are you getting your best shot? Okay. And your name, love?
Kevin.
Hey, Kevin, you know what I appreciate about you is that you live life to its fullest. You love to have a good time. You love to play a lot. Okay. And there's a saying that goes, sometimes we got to know when to leave the party. Do you know what I mean?
I leave really early.
Okay. Right. Am I making you nervous? Okay, because I noticed that you're rocking back and forth. Are you aware that you're rocking back and forth? Okay. Is this, are you sending a mating signal to me? Okay. Okay. But Okay, so because you're involved in movement, that's why I'm asking you. So usually when people are rocking back and forth, they're ready to move, they're ready to get going, they're ready to dance. Do you dance?
Alone?
You dance alone? Okay. Do you dance? Okay, I'm just saying. So listen, one thing I appreciate, you can relax. I want you to look at me. One thing I respect about you, that if you're going to do something, system, structure, and order is critical to have a system of doing something. Does that make sense? Yeah, because if something's like scattered or whatever, you may not like that. You know how to flow with it because your personality, but you like order and systems perhaps in your life and your work that you do. It can be almost a non-negotiable. Am I correct?
100%.
Thank you. Okay. So I want you to go and stand right there. Just stand right here, my love. Okay. He wanted me too. Okay, all right. It gets rough. It gets rough. I have a rough life. Okay, so I got to tell you something. There was a situation that I was working with one of my clients. And one of my clients asked me to help in the interview process of 3 candidates in their department. And they were looking for the candidate to be the head of the people department as their human resources, if you will. And that person has to have a genuine love for the employees and care, and their EQ had to be high. The 3 final candidates, there were a couple things that were taking place here, okay? And here's what we're gonna do here. You can continue to do this, okay? You're good where you are. I want you to do this, okay? Keep your legs crossed. Well, bring your legs down and cross them at the ankles. Cross them at the ankles, good. And your hand, yeah, just like that, okay? And I want you to cross your legs towards that way. Okay, all right. So there were 3 candidates. Contestant number 1, contestant number 2, contestant number 3. The gentleman here was the interviewer of the final candidates. Now, let me give you a little backstory. One of the candidates used to work for the company, had left the company, came back because there were some personal issues. And I'll tell you about that, another individual, there was a situation going on that they thought the individual knew about a theft that took place in the company, okay? Right, there was one individual that was exceptional in customer care, customer service, and quite often didn't apply for the position, but they eventually got the position. And there was one candidate that had a little something, something going on with this man. Okay, word had it in the company, and it was discovered. Now, contestant number 1, contestant number 2, contestant number 3. So let me ask you this, which contestant, if you will, which candidate was holding back information of improprietary things going on with the company? Contestant number 1, contestant number 2, contestant number 3. Okay, how many of you say 1? Only one little person. Okay, that's okay. How many of you say 2? How many of you say 3? Okay, why do you say number 2? Okay, so you're exactly right, it was number 2, but let me tell you why. Look at the arm hold, number 2. So anytime you see the arm hold, everybody do this. Okay, do this. The higher the hold, the higher the stress. Okay? Now if somebody's going like this, get them to the hospital, okay? The higher the hold, the higher the stress, okay? So, and something else that was happening, she's closing off the power zone. She's being very protective. Look at the feet, okay? And by the way, 92% of you, when you go to the dentist, you cross your legs at the ankle. As soon as you do that. Now, about 92% of you. Guess what else that takes place? If you're in a witness stand and someone's testifying and they're holding back information or biting their tongue, rather than do the upper torso where the folding of the arms, this will often happen when they cross their feet at the ankles. If you're in sales and you're asking a closing question, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, do you think this product or service would best serve you? One may say yes, and the other would think, well, I don't know if we'll use it or not. watch the feet, over a case of 2,000 consumers who said no to the product or service. What they saw that every one of them had their legs crossed at the ankles. They had said no. It's another way of folding the arms, all right? There was one candidate that had a little something going on with this man. Which one was it? 1 or 3? Who say it was number 1? Wow. Who say it was number 3? Why do you say it's number 1? Okay, remember what I told you. What did I say about the feet and the legs? They're pointed in the direction they want to go. So during that time, when she felt she had a shoe in, she began to do the foot bounce. You know how to jiggle your feet? Yeah. Okay, very good. And of course, the third individual was the one that got the job. Why was that? Feet were flat on the floor. The hands were up in the servant's position. Automatically leaning in, kept her power zones open. Very, very critical. But remember now, we don't judge off one movement. You're looking for a series and clusters of movement. We all have biases. You cannot be human without a bias. But here's the strategy for you in any bias. Get the facts to validate whether you're right or wrong. Always seek out the facts. Let's give them a big round of applause. You can exit the stage. So you two need to talk. He likes to dance. And I'll let you guys, if you want to take the chairs off the stage, if that's what you want to do, because I know for aesthetic value, that's what you want. Right. This is good. Are we learning? Okay. So here's another word I want to give you, emotional chirality. And I'm going to spell it for you. You could spell it phonetically, but I'm going to spell it for you. CHIRALITY. And what that simply means, we show our emotions quite often in our face. And here's what takes place. Your negative emotions are on the left side of your face. Okay? So usually when someone frowns about something, they don't usually frown on the right side. It's kind of, try to do a frown on the right side. Try it. Doesn't matter whether you're right-handed or left-handed. Try to frown on the right side. Do that little, you can't. Try it on the left side. Right. So, and I'm telling you that so you can see those little micro expressions when you're talking to someone, the twitch, how they respond, you see it in the face, right? There's another thing called narcissistic turmoil. So before I go any further with that, because it could be dangerous, I need you to look at the person beside you and just simply ask them, are you a little psycho? No. I'm asking you this because we did have someone say, how did you know? How did you know? How did you know? So narcissistic turmoil, and this is the thing that the FBI watches out for, the CIA. Narcissistic turmoil is that you are not reacting incongruent with the situation. So let's just say an apartment building is on fire. This is only a hypothetical. Apartment building's on fire. And you come up to me and says, Linda, is that your apartment building? And I go like this, watch. Yes, it is. Linda, where are your kids? They're in the building. See, the emotion does not match the situation. Narcissistic turmoil. Wow. Okay? So one of the things I want you all to do right now is to raise your right hand. Just pretend that I'm swearing you in. Some of you have done this before. Okay? That's okay. I don't judge. I don't judge. Raise your right hand. And I want you to say, I promise to be the best. Give 100%. And nothing less. So bring your hand right down to the shoulder as if you've been sworn in to take the stand. So one of the things that I look for when I'm working with law firms and I'm working with individuals on jury selection, I'm looking at the hands a lot. And so I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. When you see the hand, by the way, if you know their baseline, when you see the hand go up like this, I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. They'll dot every I and cross every T. They'll give you the details. When someone goes like this, I promise to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They'll tell it all. They'll tell it all. They'll tell your secrets, your secrets. They'll even tell Victoria's secrets. They'll tell it all. Hand goes up like this. I promise to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth. You ever see somebody like this? I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but. They'll lie like a rug. Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Look at this. They'll bend the truth. That's knowing the baseline. So please do not leave this wonderful event and go home to your loved one and ask them, what were you doing while I was gone? Raise your right hand. Don't. So nonverbal communication is so important because it's your first language before you're able to speak a word. I would like, if we can have some runners, if you will, I would like at this time to open it up, if we can, for a few questions. Are you in for questions? Okay. We could have, yes. A few questions. See, because here's the deal. There are 31,536,000 seconds in a year. You've only got 1:60 seconds in it. Forced upon you. You didn't seek it. You didn't choose it. Hurt if you lose it. It's only a tiny little minute, but your future is in it. And the way you move tells the story. So please, who's got a question? Please stand up.
Hello, I have
Hello.
a question. How is your mental dialogue when you are trying to be your best version and trying to do things right, but inside of you, you are uncomfortable, you are doubting about yourself? How is your way to fix that insecurity inside of you?
Good. Okay, stand up. Stand up, stand out. Okay. So here's the thing that I want you to remember. I want you to listen very carefully. Whatever you think about, it comes about. If you believe you can, you will. The moment that you have any doubt, you begin to deactivate the positive thing that was in action because you begin to self-doubt yourself. See, the enemy is not outside. The enemy is in me. The enemy is often in us. So you've got to ask yourself, someone once said, what's the best way to get to Carnegie Hall? It's not just practice. It's perfect practice, if you will. So if you're doing a presentation, if there's something that you want to try and you are fearful, what does fear stand for? What is the acronym of fear? F-E-A-R. Anybody know? She said false evidence appearing real. But if it's real to you and your fear, then it's real, right? So we're going to change that acronym. Instead of false evidence appearing real, we're going to change it to face everything and rise. You just do it. What would be the one thing that makes you uncomfortable?
Can you repeat, please?
What would be the one thing that makes you uncomfortable?
It depends on the moment, but very powerful moment is watching someone's eyes when you are not secure about yourself in that moment. When I am secure about me, watching eyes from someone, it's easy. But when I feel insecure, watching eyes is like, I want to go out.
You want to go out. So do me a favor. I want you to walk to this stage. Just walk here to me. Wait a minute, hold on. As if you are the most powerful man in the world.
Invictus mode. No.
Okay. I want you to walk to, see, look what you're doing. It's serious. It's serious. Have her hold the microphone for you. And I want you to walk with power, head up. Walk to power, walk. Yes. You feel the difference. So the thing is, when you walk into it, act the way you want to be, and then soon you'll be the way you act. You're falling in love, aren't you? It happens. Thank you. Thank you. We got a question? Got some more questions? Do the Oprah thing. You got to do the Oprah thing.
Which one?
Right. I know.
Hi, my question
Can you
is...
stand up?
Sure. If you are an emotional person, how do you block someone who's talking negative to you?
So if you are an emotional person, so first of all, I do not allow anyone negative or anything negative to live rent-free in my mind. Okay? Because if someone is doing that, for every emotion, hear this out and you take note of this, for every emotion, there's usually emotion to go along with it. So when someone's upset, why did you do that? Why did you do it? There's emotion. But for every emotion and motion, there's a story attached to it. Quite often, we're judging on the actions and not knowing what's the story behind it. When we seek to understand and listen with empathy and compassion, that's the thing that can take the fire out of the other person. You do not have to allow people to attach you, okay? And here's the thing, come close. Here is the thing that happens for you. You are very sensitive, your feelings can hurt, and you hold on to things and you worry. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay? You try to take care of your family. Everybody pulls from you all the time, that you have to replenish yourself. Are your parents living?
Only my mom.
Okay, your mom?
Yeah.
Who has the greatest influence? Was it your mother or your father?
My dad.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking you that, because your posture is tilted. Your posture is tilted. The right side represents the masculine. Okay? The longing for the dad. And the left side represents the feminine. That's why I ask you that. And so you have to learn to say no as well. Am I correct?
That's right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Good.
Hello, here.
Where?
Hey. Hi.
Hello?
Hello.
Is it you I've been looking for? Okay, I'm sorry. Did I do that?
So my question is, how and on what you base your explanation?
Can you bring close to the mic so I can hear you?
Yeah, you're hearing me now?
Yes, I want to hear you.
How and on what you base your explanation for someone's body language if you're seeing him for the first time, like you don't know his or her baseline?
I'm not understanding what. Okay, how do you tell the baseline of the individual you meet for the very first time?
Yeah.
Okay, one of the things you do, you have a conversation to build rapport, to connect with them, to see if they're comfortable. So when you build rapport with someone, now you're on the same level. How do you do that? It's not about you. You start finding out about them. People love to talk about themselves. Find out what's special to them and begin to add value to it. That's what's critical. And one of the things that you could do is to be a great listener. Listen twice as much as you talk. And then watch how the person feels when they're talking about things that make them happy. Watch how they feel when they're talking about things that challenge them, so you know what to say and how to approach it. Does that make sense? All right? Are you asking for yourself or someone else?
For myself.
Okay, is it because you got somebody in mind?
Yeah, maybe at work.
I gotta figure that. All right.
Thank you.
Where?
Okay, hi, I'm Sadia, and he asked my question, so I'm going to pass it to Salman. If that's all right.
Okay.
Hi. So I have a question.
Yes.
If you find yourself in a meeting with...
Use your mic.
If you find yourself in a meeting with somebody who has all the power in the sense that I'm talking about myself, I have to meet with someone who's very rich, very powerful, and very influential, and they owe me money. And how can my body language help me in those meetings or in that environment? Because I get very little time with the said person. So what should my body language be like?
Do they know they owe you money?
Yes.
Okay. Are they withholding money for a reason?
Because they can.
Because they can.
Yeah.
So are they using it as a tactic or a ploy for you? Why would they do that?
I guess to have more money.
Okay, so here's the deal. So now you know who to do business with and not in the future, right? We know that. So when you go in there, you don't want to go in there for his body language. Yo, you owe me my money. Yo, I'm about to get my boys. Okay? So whether you say it or not, your body language shouldn't come across that way.
Okay.
So one of the things you want to do that when you go in, just when I say power zones, here are your power zones. The throat area, the heart area, the belly button, and of course the reproductive area. So when you're sitting there, have your power zones open, no blockage, no blockage. What I mean by blockage, like a table that's between you all, try to sit beside, try to build the rapport, and let's have a discussion. Let me ask you this question here. You know, did I serve you well in the product or the service that I delivered? Listen to the question that I'm asking him or her. Did I serve you well? If they said, absolutely, man, you did a good job. So when you do work for clients, when do you expect to be paid? The end of the job or later on? I want to make sure that I did the great work for you. By you paying me, this allows me to take care of my responsibilities. You can't dance around it. Be direct with the right tone. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, all right, all right.
Yes, I have a question. Here.
Where? Oh, over here.
Yeah, the first one is like, let's say I want to be more expressive. I find my face so flat when somebody's speaking to me. So I want to train myself to be more expressive. For that case, I was trying to like put a camera on the other side and see how is my responses and to use the body languages to express what I feel. So what would be the strategy to
be more
expressive? And
okay, come close.
Okay.
So, because the light is just hot, and I just want to make sure I see you. Okay, so, and you want to come on the stage and play?
Okay.
Come on up here. All right.
Wow.
Okay. So in order to be more expressive, we're going to work the eyebrows. Let's practice that. Up. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. Right. Now, here's what's important. Now, first of all, this is one of the most beautiful rooms that I've been in. However, there are some people that like to enhance their beauty. Okay? Some people like to enhance their beauty, both men and women, with Botox. So when you do that, so that you can understand that if you utilize Botox, here's what takes place. I'm just saying, no judgment. So when you do Botox, it also deadens the muscles in that area. That's why you have actresses like Meryl Streep, some of the actresses that have to be animated, because if that area is deadened, it's very challenging to evoke emotion because it's deadened, right? So watch this. Watch what it looks like, right? Okay, give me a minute. And I'm telling you this because that's why employees and people think that you don't care when you cannot move those muscles in the orbicular oculi area. So let's just say I won the lottery, and I want you all to say, Linda, you won the lottery. Linda, you won the lottery. And ask me, Linda, are you excited? Linda, are you excited? I am. But I can't, yes, I am. I just can't come out. I am. I can't come out. I can't. I am. So that's what happens. So you're using the expressions, right? And then your zygomatic major muscles. A genuine smile uses the orbicular oculi muscles, where it gets those little wrinkles right there, little crow's feet. And a genuine smile, the mouth goes up towards the eyes, not like the pageant smile. So what do you think about the new guy? He's nice. The new girl, she's okay. She'll make it work. Right, can't do that. So we're going to practice, okay? So have you enjoyed and talking your mic, have you enjoyed this session?
Yes, I enjoyed the session.
Okay, what did you learn? What did you learn?
How to set the baseline and to look for many cumulative body languages to judge them, not to judge with just one body language. And I got to learn that if you have your hands here, that you're stressed, I felt like sometimes I used to keep here. I didn't know the reason.
You didn't know.
Yeah, now I know.
So now
it's
you're
the
excited
reason.
about
Yeah,
it?
Yes.
Are you excited? Now I want you to say, I'm excited.
I'm
Are
excited.
you excited?
Excited.
Are you excited? Get excited.
Excited.
Move like
Excited.
me. Get excited.
Yeah, I'm
Get
excited.
excited.
Yeah.
Get excited. Look out there. Tell me you're excited. Show it in
I'm
your
excited.
face. I'm excited. I'm excited. Now you notice what he did. He did like this. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. When the eyebrows go down, okay? Anger, frustration, eyebrows go up.
Okay.
So you excited? You gonna try it again?
Okay. I'm excited.
I'm excited. Get
I'm
better.
excited.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Try to beat me. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Okay. Give him a round of applause. Thank you. I was like, okay. Yes.
Okay, this is a very vulnerable
I
question.
love your necklace.
Oh, thank you, thank you. So I've been discovering over recent months that, I've been discovering over recent months, as well as since I've been here for 3 weeks, that I have a lot of masculine energy that is overriding my feminine energy. And I would love to get some sort of,
So who told you that?
well,
Is it someone that you trust, a trusted source? Who told you that?
I told myself.
So you told
Because okay, here's why. Can I explain why?
I thought you said over the week someone else told you that.
No,
So
I've been discovering it
Do you talk to yourself?
all the time.
I do too. You do, Linda? Yeah, I do. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, I grew up in a very masculine household. I had
That's it.
3 older brothers.
Okay, come
and-
up on stage.
Oh, God.
Okay. You know what I've learned a long time ago is that no matter where I go in the world, and it doesn't matter what your faith is, or your religion, or what you practice, or spirituality, but it seems like that part of my higher purpose, that whenever I do these sessions and I invite people on stage, they seem to get closer to a higher source because they always say, "Oh God." All right, so first of all, I want you to turn towards the audience. Okay. So posture very good, square it up. Lots of times, people square up, men square up. And one of the things in the feminine realm, you want the shoulders to soften. So I want you to look at me. We're going to practice this thing here. So my shoulders are squared up. Yeah, I'm every woman. I could do this. But look what happens when I soften my shoulders. So practice soften the shoulders, okay? The other thing that you have a tendency to do, and you have to be aware of your patience.
Oh, yeah.
Use your mic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, how do you know that?
How do I know this stuff? Right. So
Crazy.
turn towards the audience. So you have to be aware of your patience. So here's what's happening when you deal with female energy and female spirits. When you're carrying the masculine, you're the type of individual, and it works for you for us getting things done. But the challenge is everyone may not move as quick or fast as you do, and you may lose patience. And if the subject is irrelevant, you don't have time for it. Get down to business. So let me give you an example, and I want you all to watch your face.
This is
Watch
incredible.
your face. Watch your face. So let's say I'm your top employee. I'm your top employee.
You are.
Coming in
You
for
are
the weekend.
definitely.
I want you to watch. Now listen, I want you to watch. I'm your top employee, and I'm coming in from a long weekend. And you ask the question, ask me, how was my weekend? Ask me.
How was your weekend?
And so watch what happens. I'm that employee that won't give the simple answer. And I want you to turn towards the audience because I want them to see your face. And I'm going to say, oh my gosh, thank you for asking me about my weekend. It was just drama. It was so great. Look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her face. And I'm so glad, I don't even know if I'm going to make my quota this week, but I'm so glad you asked because I really need to release this. So let me tell you what happened. I told my son, walk the dog before you do your homework. Just walk the dog. So he takes the dog out. Look at her. He takes the dog out, and then next thing you know, he left the gate open, and then the dog runs out in the street, and Fifi got hit by a truck. Look at her face. Her face is saying to me, just tell me the dog is dead. Just tell me the dog is dead. It's the end of the month. We've got quotas.
No, I love dogs, actually. I
passed 3 stray dogs. Just tell me it's dead. But what I'm saying is, you notice I'm telling her a story to evoke emotion and sympathy. What is she doing with her head? Like, how long is this going on? How long is this? I just want to die. I just want to die. How long is this going on? This end of the month, we've got, so if I'm telling you, and you love animals, and if I'm telling you about Fifi, this is emotional. And if I'm telling you about Fifi, what should you be doing with your head? You don't care. Tell her, what should she be doing with her head? Show.
Nodding.
In the emotional realm. You can't do this. The dog's dead. Man, the dog's dead. That's some jacked up stuff. What kind of truck was it? Yeah, dead. No!
I feel like a horrible person.
So, it's not meant to be, but because listen, how can we see the picture when we're in the frame?
Yeah.
So when you have sister friends and brother friends, the people say, hey sis, now look what you just did. See what she just did? Did you see it? See, so you can do it. When I said, how can you see the picture when you're in the frame? You went, right. So that's where the empathy and your EQ that you have to work on. Now let's turn to his audience again. Okay, what's the matter?
And there's a tear. Yeah.
You had a little tear. You felt, let's give her applause.
Oh, thank you.
She felt them. But you see, right. So when people are able to see that human side of us, psychology says that when we give up a little piece of ourselves, others will do the same. And that's the thread that we need. See, look at the softness now. Does it make sense?
That was amazing. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Is this getting
Hi.
juicy? Oh.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I was in a moment there.
I didn't want to interrupt.
So they're saying, like, get back to work, Linda, get on the clock. Oh my gosh, this is a rough audience. Man, just beat me, okay? Yes.
Hi, I have a question.
Right.
Sometimes I want to leave a place, or I want to say someone to leave, or I don't want to give the attention the person wants from me, but I don't want to be seen rude or arrogant, okay? So it's a very fragile balance, how I can achieve that.
So here's one thing that I've learned a long time ago. When you're in someone's presence, we don't know. It could be their last day on earth. You don't know. When you're in someone's presence, be 100% present. Give them the time, give them the moment, and listen. Have an ear to be able to do that. Don't be so busy that we can't take the time to listen. People can see that in your body language and in your face. There's nothing more important if someone's hurting or going through something. But the moment that we say, I don't have the time or the energy, we begin to judge that person as not being worthy. Because the same thing that you would want to happen for you, how would you feel if someone did that for you?
Yes, I understand this, but sometimes, we cannot give, all of us have,
you don't have to
limited
give
energy.
all of you. You can give what you can, and that what you give, it could be 100%. If I can only give you 5 minutes of my time, it's going to be the best 5 minutes. You don't have to give the whole 100%.
Yeah, but also sometimes, for example,
Use your mic so they can hear.
Okay, for example, a guy wants, he is making me uncomfortable, and I don't want to be rude, but I want to leave him,
Okay, is this someone that you are just talking to in general?
Yes.
Or someone you're in a relationship with?
Not relationship.
Okay, so someone, okay, and you just have to learn to set boundaries. And you have to say, look, this is how I operate. Sometimes I need my space. Sometimes I can have the time with you, but it doesn't hurt to be transparent, to just let them know.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You sure? Okay, all right.
Oh, first of all, it's a huge honor for me to ask you this question. My question is, because I believe in unconditional love, okay?
Come close.
I believe in unconditional love. And we all know that black holes also exist in emotionally also, like psycho. So how to change your energy resonance to do not attract those kind of people when you are highly empathic and you want to love unconditionally?
Okay, there's a saying that I came up with in my dating life, okay? And the saying is that you can love people from a distance. You can love them from a distance. So in other words, that if you, I'm a high empath as well, but I know how to set boundaries. You don't have to enter into every space, and everyone doesn't have to enter into your space. That's when you use discernment as to who comes into your house. Does that make sense? Yes. So, but when you allow yourself to be depleted like that, then you become incomplete. So being strong and knowing when to say no. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So why did you ask that question?
Because this is the deepest desire on my heart, to understand how unconditional love is created, is built to be strong and to spread this love, but to protect also those who we
So
love.
unconditional love is like a continuous flowing river, loving the person in spite of, learning to love the unlovable as well. People are human, and they're going to do things that we may not always agree with, but that love within you should be able to shine beyond that. It doesn't mean that you have to engage their behavior in your life. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Don't stress yourself out over that, because otherwise you'll be a basket case.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
Are you new in your career
In my career?
and what you're doing?
No,
Okay.
I'm already 5 years in this.
All right. Are you ready for change?
I am changing.
Yeah. The reason why I'm asking you that, because I asked you how long you were in it.
I'm always changing, adding new things to do. Because I
Okay.
know this.
Well, I just heard the first language, the body language first. Okay. That's what I heard. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, this group is getting rowdy over here. They want. I'm getting. Well, they want their fair share. They want the time. They put in for it.
Okay.
Are we learning? Is this helpful? Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
I wanted to ask you, I suppose it's a question.
Are you representing the group?
Yeah, I think
Oh, okay,
so.
okay. Did you? No. But are you watching the body language? I want to ask this question. You saw how she. Yeah. You know, I'm representing. She's the head of the union over here for this thing here. So you got to know those signals here. Okay.
How can you tell if someone's lying? And bonus question, if it's a narcissist?
Okay. So narcissists and sociopaths believe it. Okay? So when they believe it, then their words and their actions are congruent. Okay? So I get asked this question all the time. How do you tell if someone's being deceptive? Okay, now, are we going to keep this between us? You're going to go and tell everyone, right? Okay. All right. So when someone is being deceptive, people who are lying are trying to convince you. Always remember that. People who are telling the truth will convey the information. So this is what happened. It was 10 o'clock, 4 people were there, the next thing you know, and that's the deal. That's what went on. But the person who is trying to convince you, when someone is being deceptive, they are often standing still in their movements, because they are using their imagination to come up with the story. People who are telling the truth are building the story based on memory. And here's another thing that you can do. So come close. Okay? So let's just say you're telling me what's going on. Just go ahead, just tell me a story. Give me any story. Use your mic. Tell me about your journey here. Tell me about your journey here.
Took a taxi, looked at the taxi driver and had lots of cats in his car, and I thought, wow, what's going on? Why is there cats in there? And then I remembered I've got a cat, Kitty, here as well, so I thought that was weird.
Okay. So what is your first name?
Regina.
Lakina. So that, thank you so much for sharing that story. So that I won't miss anything, and I want to make sure that you know that I've heard you exactly and that I get all the details. Do you mind sharing the story with me again, but share it from the end?
Okay.
From the very end. So the reason why I'm said that people who are lying cannot tell the story backwards. So that's your question, okay? So they cannot tell the story backwards. And people who are being deceptive, they only practice the words, not the gestures. Because they can't say, okay, when I tell this story, do this. They can't do that. So that's to help you.
Okay. It's just that it's probably, if you want to find out if the person is telling the truth, it'll be sometimes like, oh, can you tell it backwards? And it'll be like,
well, you're not going to say to them, okay, hold on. You guys, come on now. I said to you, a tactic known as a tactic blown. Look how I did it to you. I said to you, I set it up to make sure that I've got everything that's important to you. Because I don't want to miss anything that you said. And I know the details are important to help. Look at the hand to the heart to help me out. I want to go through the story again. But can we start from the time you found the body and work backwards? But you see what I'm doing with the tone. And I'm not going to go to you and say, yo, what's going on? So let me see if you tell the truth or not. Let me see if you can say it backwards. I'm not going to do that. All right?
Thank you.
We got a few more. We've got a few more minutes. Yes. So, okay. Okay, so she was talking about the look, and lots of times people who practice NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, I don't practice that because of an organization that I worked for, that I was a consultant. They didn't allow it because they knew the founders and they have their own perception about it. So just because someone looks to the right doesn't necessarily always mean that they're recalling. They could be looking to the right, looking down, and they can be going into auditory mode. 72% of the people in the world, when you talk to them, 72% of the people in the world do what we call tuning an ear. So if you're telling me a story that what's happened, so tell me what happened. And if I'm auditory dominated, I'll be listening like this, okay, so who else was there, okay? Now, if you're in the United States, since eye contact is acceptable 85% of the time, you may think, because I'm not looking at you, oh, she's shifty, but I may be an auditory dominated learner. So I'm taking the information in through auditory. Now, if you're telling me the exact same information and I'm visually dominated, I'm going to say, whoa, that's overload. Can you do me a favor? Can you write that down and give me a report? If I'm a kinesthetic dominated communicator and you're telling the story, and if I don't like the tone that you may be using the story, oh my God, why are you yelling? Why are you saying it that way? Why did you talk to her that way? So that doesn't always mean that. Does that make sense? And that's another way that we could kind of judge the movement. You know, hope looks up. Sometimes regret looks back. And sometimes sorrow looks down. But then again, sadness, contemplation, reflection can also look down as well. And that's knowing a person's baseline. Is that fair enough? Thank you. Yes.
Right, hello. So let's say, for example, you're having very tough day, very tough emotions inside, but then you have to step up as a leader and lead and have a very important event that you have to show up and just stand your ground and show this power that you have inside. But my question is, you know, you're having very tough time just before this moment. What do you do to just, you know, present yourself in the best possible way to be there for others as well?
So listen, that's a very good question. You are in the role and the position that you have and the talent that you have. No one on this earth has the same fingerprint, not even twins. So to much is given, much is required. the thing and the gift that you are holding, someone in the world is waiting on it. That is your responsibility. As Irma Bombeck once said, that when she stands before her maker, she wants to stand empty and use everything she's got. Every Olympic, for this moment in time, they give up their life, be it to race for the few minutes, the few seconds. You do what you have to do, and you get in that game mindset. So let me give you an example. Let's just say that you have to go to the hospital. Let's say that you had to have open heart surgery. And let's say that I was the surgeon. You know that all the degrees that are on the wall, all the everything, all the credentials is there. But I walk into the room and I said to you, I'm having a hard day. You're not going to believe. Okay, yeah, it's just a quadruple. We'll take care of that. But let me just tell you what happened. I woke up this morning. The coffee was cold. The tire was flat. I just found out the dog needed braces. I feel jacked up. So let's go ahead and get you prepped for surgery. You don't want it, right? Yeah. Why? What about all the degrees? Yeah. What about all the credentials?
You don't feel trust. You don't
feel the trust. So remember that old commercial, never let them see you sweat? It's not, you don't pay your tickets to go on Broadway for the lead to say, I can't do it. I don't want to sing. I don't. No. Because too much is given, much is required. Right?
Thank you so much.
Right. Got one more? We got one more before we close out. Yeah. One more.
Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Okay, I want to share something. It's kind of vulnerable. Something that only my closest friends know. So maybe you have a key for this. In my life, I've never been any attractive. Like, I never held the attention of women. And only recently, for like the last 3 years, I started to realize that women started looking at me in the way that I always wanted them to look at me. Not all of them, but some. And I find myself in this situation, which is very weird, is where I see sometimes women looking at me, and I feel like a connection could happen, but it never happens anything. I don't know how to take advantage of these opportunities, how to seize these opportunities to actually establish connection. And I'm kind of frustrated that I just see trains passing by of connections that could happen, but they never get to happen. It's kind of frustrating. So maybe have a key to...
So do me a favor. Narrow your question down. Give me a direct question. What are you asking me to do?
How can I unlock this possibility?
And what is it you want to lock? The people who you see looking at you, or possibility to make the connection?
Yeah. How to open this connection so it doesn't stay in just like somebody giving a sign that I might be interested in you.
So how are they looking at you? As if they're interested?
Seems like.
Seems like?
Seems like. You know when people scan you and...
Okay, you want to step out? Want to step out? On the stage. Okay, you stand right there. So just say that we're somewhere, and then you notice a woman looking at you, right? Yeah. Like she's interested. Mm-hmm. But let's say this particular woman may be a little shy. She may not make the first move, okay? And if there's a connection there, it may be on you to do it. Mm-hmm. All right? So it may look something like this. You guys laugh at everything, all right? When are you gonna come get it? That's the problem, why they're gone.
I mean, if it's that obvious, then I go.
Right.
But sometimes it's not that much obvious, you know? That's
well, you didn't do it. When are you gonna come get the cookies off the shelf?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
All right, and you?
I'm doing good.
I like your beautiful clothes are so colorful.
Thank you so
nice.
much. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. So do you come here often?
Not so much, but maybe I should come more often.
Oh, okay. And so what you want to work on is your tone. When you approach a woman, use the tone in conversational tone. Because when you said, maybe I should come more often, I don't want to feel like I'm a pork chop.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
I want to feel like a delicacy,
Uh-huh.
something special.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
Something happened, make you feel great?
I woke up like this. Make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah.
you have to start practicing, your approach. Your first name again?
Sorry?
Your first name? Your name?
My name is Vic.
Vic, okay.
Yeah.
So Vic, practice your approach.
I see.
Hopefully there's a nice band that's going to be here next week. Maybe I'll see you next week
Maybe.
at the club.
Okay, cool. Take care.
Thank you all for your time. Thank you.